Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Julie, and in today's video I'm going to be doing this eyeshadow look using the iconic London Day to Slay eyeshadow palette. I actually received this eyeshadow palette through BoxyCharm, which I order and pay for myself. So yeah, I just wanted to give it a try, give you my thoughts on what look I was able to get out of it, and yeah, and give you a tutorial in the meantime. So that's about everything. So if you're interested in that, just keep on watching. So I'm gonna start out with Peaches and Dreams right here. And I'm gonna take that on just a fluffy, floppy, that is not a fluffy brush. Well, I'm gonna take it on a big fluffy brush and just kind of lightly blend that into the upper crease as a transition shade. There's a lot of kick up with these eyeshadows, which is fine. I don't really care. As long as they have pigment and blend out nicely, I don't mind kick up in the pan. Now I'm gonna go in with a thinner brush, but it's still pretty fluffy, and I'm gonna go in with Bellini. And I'm gonna keep that a little bit lower than that first shade, but basically put it in the same area, just keeping it lower. All the way in and out, the heaviest amount of product on the outer half, but taking it all the way across the whole crease area, back and forth, blending it in windshield wiper motions. And then using the same brush, I'm gonna go into Merlot Mondays and do the same thing right over top of that. Same place as that last shade, just to kind of get a different tone. This is gonna deepen it as well. And with no additional product on that first brush, I'm just gonna go at the top edge of that just to blend it out even more. Now I'm gonna take a even smaller, more precise brush, and I'm gonna go into Merlot Mondays again and tap that off. And then I'm just gonna do a quick little dip, like getting barely any of that on the brush, and tap it off. And then I'm gonna take that in the crease also, just to deepen that color up, but to not totally change the color. See how that this one compared to this, it just deepened up the color, changed it to be a tiny bit more browny, but for the most part, you're just deepening. And keeping that low in the crease, just to add more dimension. Now using this brush right here, it's just a small little pencil brush, and it's a little precise. I'm gonna take Deep Soul, which is that deep brown that I used. I don't think I ever said the name of it. Get some on it, tap it off, and I'm going to start applying this on the inner lid, keeping it really low on that lid. And I'm just going to place that down and keep it very precise with this small brush. I'm doing that because I don't have a lot of lid space to work with, so I need to use something small because I'm working in a small area. And I'm just gonna continue applying it until it's at a depth that I'm happy with. So now I'm gonna work on the outer edge. This is another pencil brush, but it's a little bigger and more fluffy. And I'm gonna take the same shade, Deep Soul, and I'm going to now apply that to the outer edge. Just kind of pack it on the outer edge a little bit at a time. Stamp it down, pack it on, and then once it's there, placed pretty solidly, just kind of gently blending it up and out. Not going higher than the crease though. So like that. And I'm just gonna keep the middle right here blank because I'm gonna add a brighter, more sparkly kind of color there. And then without any additional product, I'm going in with the third brush I used. It's more dense, it's not big and fluffy, and I'm very gently just going to rub it along the edges to diffuse it a little bit, diffuse what I've laid down without rubbing all over that shadow. I'm just gonna gently, small back and forth motions, blend the edges out as much as possible without moving the product around. And then I'm gonna use the first brush I used and I'm gonna add back in that first color that I used, Peaches and Dreams. And I'm just going to put a very light wash over the very top of the crease and transition area again. Not to really add much, but just to blend, and also so that I don't lose all of that color. So light wash and blend, blend, blend. Now I'm not having an issue with fallout, but I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush. This is just a big powder brush, and I'm gonna gently sweep away any fallout that I might have that maybe I'm just not seeing. Now the shade I'm gonna use in the center is Peach Fizz, and it's this pretty kind of metallic peachy gold color. And I'm gonna put it on my finger. That's what I'm gonna use to apply it, because I think that's how I'll get the best color payoff. Put it on my finger, and right in the center where my eyeshadow area is blank, but just kind of all over the center, I'm going to start slowly and gently applying that. Making sure I take it up into the crease. That looks so nice. I'm actually really impressed with how metallic that looks. When I swatched it, I just I didn't think it was gonna perform that well on my eyelids because it didn't perform that great on my hand. This is one of those eyeshadows that looks much nicer on the lid when you pack it on with your finger than it would just kind of swatched. So now I'm gonna take this brush. I should probably just say what it is. This is a Sigma Blending E25 brush. It's the smaller, denser blending brush I've been using. So I'm gonna take and really gently, just like I did with the brown, and just kind of gently start diffusing the edges of the gold, but without moving anything around too much. Just kind of pat, 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 pat. Very small swiping movements. And then I'm gonna take the small pencil brush, but this is the fluffier one, and this is a Morphe E18. And I'm going to, without any additional product, kind of blend out the edges of that onto the brown. And then once more, adding a little bit of that gold shadow again and just stamping it right in the middle. Now I'm gonna take this small brush. This is a very small little brush that's going to help me highlight some areas that I wanna highlight. And I'm gonna do that with the color Marshmallow. Now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M432 brush. It's just a flat a flat brush, and I'm gonna take Deep Soul, and I'm going to put this right underneath my lower lash line, starting on the outer edge, and then gently bringing that about 3/4 of the way across my lash line. I'm going to take the small fluffy blending brush. I'm actually gonna kind of get some of that brown off of it. I'm gonna add some of the Peaches and Dreams to blend it out with. And so right underneath where I laid that down, I'm gonna start just using that to blend this out. So what I'm gonna do now is highlight the inner corner just with a very small amount of this Icon shade. It's kind of like Marshmallow, but it's metallic and sparkly. I'm putting that on my pinky, and I'm just adding a little bit, and then with my ring finger with nothing on it, patting it out so that it's not so intense. If the camera will focus, that'd be great. Thank you so much. I think I'm kind of missing some of the pinky peachy shades on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit, but just on the outside edges a little bit there. And I'm gonna take Bellini and Merlot Mondays, mix them together, and just very lightly add that right here on the outer lower edge of the eye. Not going over that brown at all, just kind of adding it so that it's pink down there too, just so it all kind of comes together. Now I'm gonna go in with this Laura Geller New York Ink Credible Waterproof Gel Eyeliner Pencil in Fool's Gold, and I'm going to line my waterline with that. Now I'm going to give my lashes a little curl. This is a amazing eyelash curler. It's also the most expensive eyelash curler I've ever had. I've been kind of annoyed with my eyelash curlers for a while now and never wanted to really invest in one. It just seems like such a boring thing to spend money on, honestly, but I'm really glad that I got it. I needed it. It's just a really good one. So I'll link which one I got down below if you're in the same predicament. And then I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Waterproof Mascara. And I'm gonna go in with lashes. These are the Cocoa lashes. They're the Queen Bee ones. So the lash glue that I'm using to apply these is the Ardell Lash Grip Dark Brush On Lash Adhesive, and it's latex free. And that's it. This eyeshadow look is complete. I do like this eyeshadow palette. It kind of is, when I looked at the colors and how it looked, it reminded me of that old Violet Voss palette. It's definitely not up to the quality of the Violet Voss one, but it's pretty. I like it. The metallic kind of shades pleasantly surprised me with this. The other shades I think are really pretty. They're a little dusty. They feel lower quality. They feel kind of like drugstore eyeshadows, if I'm being honest, but the metallic-y ones, they feel a little higher end than drugstore to me. I enjoy the look that I was able to get with it. What are your thoughts on this palette? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I saw a video by Jen Loves Reviews where she said that the factory that this was made from is a different factory, and the formula is a different formula than all of the normal iconic London things because it was in BoxyCharm. So that made me think like, uh-oh, I might really not enjoy this palette at all. So I wanted to give it a try just to see what I thought. And you know what? I'm pretty favorable of it. It's not the best eyeshadow palette I've used. I don't see myself necessarily reaching for it all the time based on the shadows that I've used so far, but I'll play around with it. I'll see if that changes, and I'll let you know if I find another look that I just absolutely love from it, and I'll do a tutorial there. If you want more tutorials using this palette, let me know and I'd be happy to do that. So those are my thoughts, and that's the tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.